Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm actually going to show you one of my favorite controls, or maybe even my favorite control actually. It's a control I've been using a lot lately and I think it's great. It's awesome because you can do it from any kind of break. You can have a card selected in a spread, or as a peek, or when you dribble. It doesn't matter. You can bring the card to the top. To them, it looks like you've done nothing at all. In that way, it's kind of like the pass, but it's so much easier than the pass. It's a kind of intermediate move. It's not easy, it's not a beginner move, but it's not super hard and you will get it down with just a little bit of practice. So here is what it looks like. Okay, so as I said, you can do it from any kind of pinky break. You can do it from any kind of selection process, basically. From a spread, you spread the card, they select one. Let's say it's the 8 of clubs in this case. Okay, we're just gonna square the cards up real quick, just like that, and that 8 is on the top. Or let's do it from a spectator peek. Okay, so we have the 5 of hearts, just like so. Just gonna square the cards up real quick, and boom, the 5 of hearts is on top. Or even from a dribble. Okay, we have the 9 of spades, just like that. Just gonna square the cards up, boom, it's on the top. Okay, so let's learn how to do this. Okay, so this move is related to the side steal. It's basically the side steal's little brother, you could say. It's sometimes referred to as the side steal transfer or the side slip. And as I said, it's related to the side steal. The side steal traditionally would be from a peek, so let's say the 4 of diamonds, and from there, we would palm that card off from the middle of the pack, like so, into a full palm, basically. The side slip, however, the goal of this move is simply to control the card to the top or to the bottom of the deck, so therefore we don't need to have it take it into the full palm. It's enough to just grab it like this, and then we're gonna slide it to the top, okay? But we're gonna make it a little bit more deceptive than that. And that is what we're going to talk about right now. Okay, so as I said, it's a in a way, very versatile control because you can do it, as I said, from any kind of selection process as long as you get a pinky break. So let's do it from a spread, okay? So let's say they pick this card, it's the 10 of spades, and we're gonna get a break underneath that card. So if we do it from a spread, we're simply gonna spread this over a little bit to get the pinky break as we close the spread, okay? So now we have a little pinky break there, a little finger break, okay? So here's what's going on. We're going to place our right hand over here in kind of a covered end grip, you could say, just like this. And we need to clamp down a little bit on this top packet because our pinky is going to kick that card out, just like so. And then we'll grab it, okay? So we need to put a little bit of pressure with our right hand as a little finger kicks that card out. All right, so from an exposed angle, here we have the little finger. We put some pressure with our right hand. It's a little bit hard to do this way, but just so you can see, now we're going to roll our little finger in there and kick it out, just like so, okay? So hopefully you could see that. Put that like this and you roll it out, okay? And that card gets angled out like this quite a bit. We're going to do this from another angle in just a moment, okay? So you come over, you clamp down a little bit, you have your left thumb always kind of firmly at this side of the deck. So you kind of push it in towards this thumb, okay? And at the same time you roll this out, kind of aiming towards your right shoulder. Instead of just viewing it as you should roll outwards, it's supposed to be a little bit outwards and a little bit upwards. So around that shoulder, and you kick that out, under cover, of course, of your right hand. So now you're in this position, or actually your thumb is still here, but you're going to move your thumb over here, basically, into kind of a peak grip, you could say, spectator peak grip. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand and you're going to angle it a little bit inwards, like so, or a little bit to the left. You're going to grab this card in between basically the ball of your thumb, or whatever this is called, the tip over here, the flesh of your thumb, and the base of your little finger over here, okay? So it's not like this, it's like this. This is the grip, because this will provide a lot of cover from the front. And when you slide this card out, which you can do because you're clamping down with your thumb here, as you slide that out, you're never going to lose contact with your right fingers and the deck. They will always stay in contact, which makes this a lot more deceptive. It's hard to believe, especially if you have bigger hands, that you can actually slide out a whole card and still have this much contact with the deck. And you're gonna slide it back on top. We're going to talk about some covers in just a moment to make this a little bit more deceptive, but this is the basic motion, okay? So one more time from this angle, you get a break however you want, and you have that break underneath the card you're going to control, in this case the 4 of clubs, okay? You have that break under the cover of your right hand, which is clamping down, and remember the position of this thumb, because you're going to kind of use that as counter pressure as you use your little finger to kick that card out, aiming towards your right shoulder. And as you can see, it gets kicked out quite a bit, but you are perfectly covered from this, okay? Once you're here, you're going to move that thumb like this, clamping down. Move your right hand just a little, angling it like this, so that your thumb grabs this corner and the base of your little finger grabs this corner. You're gonna slide that out, and in this case we're gonna bring it to the top, okay? So you move it top, elevator style, okay? And also you can use the help of these fingers of the left hand to just put a little bit of pressure there to bend it upwards as you slide it over like this in a squaring action, okay? And that's the basic motion. Let's look from a little bit of another angle. Okay, so I brought out a mirror here. As you can see, it's a little bit unorthodox maybe, but hopefully you can see better from this side, from below, more or less. Okay, so you have that break underneath the card you're going to control, in this case, the 10 of spades. Again, you come over with your right hand like this, and you're going to use your pinky, this pinky of the left hand, to kick that card out. Okay, just like that. Now you move that thumb over here, right, and you angle your hand, okay, so you get the correct contact points, and you're simply gonna slide that card out, but my fingers are in contact with the deck over here at all times, and then slide it back on top as you square the deck, okay? So that's a view from below. So again, let's say they pick this card, the 8 of spades, okay? You have that break. Again, you come over with your right hand, put a little bit of pressure downwards, jam it towards this thumb. As you kick that card out, again, you move the thumb to over here, you angle your hand, get the correct contact points, you slide that card out, and actually we control it to the bottom this time, just like that, okay? So you can control it to the top or the bottom. It's basically the same thing, as you could see. Probably goes without saying, but if you're going to control it to the bottom, all you do is kind of take it down. You can also put a little bit of a bend to it, okay? Bend it a little bit to make it easier to bring it to the bottom, just like so. And then you take these fingers and put it flush to the bottom, and you square just like so. Okay, so that is how you control it to the bottom instead of to the top, like this. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to cover this move. Okay guys, so here are some nice covers for this move. The most obvious one, I suppose, is simply doing a squaring action, okay, like this. So that's pretty easy. You kick that card out, slide it out, you slide it back in a squaring action, and then you square these sides as well, and that's basically it, okay? Another nice little cover you can do is, again, you slide it out, you slide it back, and once you're here, all you do is just a soft riffle at the front. This is probably the cover I use most often. Usually in conjunction basically with a squaring action. So I kick it out, I bring it to the top, square it, and do a little bit of a riffling thing. like that. Before we talk about some more covers, I just want to talk a little bit about the angles for this move. Right now you're watching basically right from the top, which usually is not the angle you'll have for this move. Usually they're going to watch straight from the front, you know, and as you can see, you know, you're perfectly covered from the front because you have that kind of steep angle with this hand. Instead of bringing it out like this, for example, you bring it out like this, okay? So you have a lot of cover from the front with these fingers over here. You can even, if you want to, if you prefer, you can have that index finger curled like this. I usually keep it straight, but it's a matter of preference, I think. Now obviously from the right angle, you're perfectly covered, okay? Because your right hand is right in the way. The only kind of bad angle, I suppose you could say, is the left angle. But it's not too bad. It's not as bad as, for example, when you bring it into full palm. Then this angle is actually quite challenging. Actually, what you can do here is you tilt the hand and the deck a little bit simply to the right, okay? As I said, this is kind of a weird camera position, but if you tilt it a little bit to the right, they won't be able to see it from that angle either. So it actually has very good angles, this move. Okay, let's talk about some more covers. I have a couple more. Now, another angle I really like is, let's say, the 9 of hearts, is this one, where you simply do a ribbon spread, okay? So I sometimes, when I do, for example, Triumph, this is how I do it. I show them the card, I do the side slip like this as I move my hand to the right, okay? So as you're moving your hands to the right, you're basically pulling away the deck a little bit faster than the right hand till it clears, and then you come back, put this on top, and do the ribbon spread. So that's a really nice cover, in my opinion. The last cover would probably be to do a kind of a fan. So you bring it to the top and you fan the cards. Let's do it with the card face up so you can see it clearly. So you bring that card to the top and you go into a fan, okay? Not a thumb fan, but actually more of a finger fan, I guess. So you bring that out, you get here, and then you do a fan more or less with the index finger instead. That wasn't a very good fan, but you get the point, okay? So again, bring that out, put it on the top, do a fan, okay? One last thing is you basically need to practice this, and it has a little bit to do with the cards also, but sometimes when you kick out that card, you're gonna kick some more cards out. In this case, I don't really think it matters because you don't need to bring it out a lot more, and also you can square it up a little bit with the fingers like this as you bring this, as you slide this out and slide it back. But that is something to practice and something to think about and something to try to avoid. Another thing you can do to avoid this is, now we have a little bit of a smear here, okay? It's actually to use your pinky finger down here on the cover of your right hand. It's kind of hard to do without the right hand, to square up a little bit. And then you have to move that pinky finger again, of course, to slide the card out and bring it to the top. I know some people do this every time just because they've gotten used to it, because it's they don't want to risk anything. I don't usually do it, so I'm not that good at it, but that is something you might want to try out and practice. Now I'm kind of doing this a little bit on purpose just to show you. It's hard to do without that right hand, but this is basically what's going on. You use that pinky finger to square up a little bit, okay, and then it's a little bit easier to slide that card out and bring it to the top or to the bottom again. Okay guys, so I think that's it. I hope you got a grasp of this move and basically how versatile it is and how, in a way, very natural, you know. It's very natural to just square up the cards, you know. So I hope you like that. As I said, it's very versatile. You can do it from so many different selection processes. To them it looks like you've done almost nothing to the deck. It's actually pretty easy to do and it has good angles. I hope you're gonna try this out and I hope you like it. And if you like it, please let me know in the comments. Please like the video, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.